Because it wouldn't be a captivating Christian video if it wasn't talking about something that was Christian, vaguely political, had talking animals or talking produce, or I guess now, the woke socialist myth that is dinosaurs. So yeah, we're talking about another dinosaur-related movie. One that I've actually never heard of before. It's called something like Dino Time or Back to the Jurassic or something like that. It was made by some South Korean company that a lot of people have never heard of, and it took them about 6 years to make, I guess. So with all that out of the way, let's get this over with. This is Dino Time. So we begin with one of our main characters, a young boy named Ernie, who's being radical on his skateboard and talking directly to the audience. Not like he's narrating the story or anything like that. No, he's looking directly into the camera, breaking the fifth wall, and telling us some exposition.
And this is Mystery Rock. See that carving? It's been dated all the way back to the Cretaceous period. Which is weird, because who could have carved it? No humans were around 145 million years ago. Just dinosaurs.
Instead of helping his mother at her souvenir shop, he goes to hang out with one of his friends, Max, at the brainwashing factory they call a museum. Sure, just keep lying to children's faces about giant lizard creatures that never existed. And if they did, at least mention that they weren't allowed to be on Noah's Ark like it really happened. Read a book. After being rude to an employee at the museum, they discover a certain something being kept from the public in a hidden back room, guarded by a sleeping Paul Blart and a digit code password lock.
This looks complicated. We'll need a variable algorithm to sort combination possibilities. What about the possibility it isn't locked? Booyah! Hey, what's the deal? Infrared motion detector.
I know museums are a public forum and all, but why do they need this level of security? Oh, I see now, yeah. So that way we can get more radical skateboard tricks.
No offense to the rocket board. None taken. Ooh. Sarcosuchus.
Excuse me, it's Sargon of Applebee's, thank you very much. But Ernie's little sister, Julia, sets off the security system, which means our plucky young heroes are going to have to get out of there. And again, why does a museum have this level of security with a joystick-controlled pterodactyl? No surprise here, the skeletons the kids are riding on ends up breaking, leaving their parents none too pleased with their reckless behavior.
When can I make my own rules? Blah. There's an open window right next to me. Any other time, I wouldn't think twice. I can't. I won't. But I must.
Stop talking to me. Ernie ends up sneaking out and goes over to Max's house, as it seems Max's dad is a regular Rick Moranis on account of him inventing a specific machine. In this case, it's a time machine.
Sneaking out and drinking a soda? Double busted.
Careful! Some of this stuff that my dad doesn't know what it might do! That phone!
Clearly, that's the factual and logical thing to do when a giant carnivorous creature is right in front of you. You skateboard around it.
She wasn't calling everyone to dinner, was she?
No, she was calling everyone to look at her cute widow baby.
I'm not going anywhere. All of you are my family. I'll protect you from the Sarko brothers, and then when my babies are big enough, they'll protect you too.
So after a fart joke and a burp joke, the highest form of comedy, I assure you, we see our comedic henchmen for the villain, but more on them later. For now, Max and Julia panic as they notice the power source thingy for the machine is missing, thinking that they're stuck there forever. But not to fret, because Ernie finds the power source and then hides it from his friends because he wants to spend more time with the dinosaurs. You are a horrible person.
Look-y! Your big brother brought presents! Let me see, where are they? Where are they?
Orphan.
Oh, the different colors! The different colors! Ah!
What kind of dinosaur is that?
This Jar Jar Binks looking creature was adopted by the mother T-Rex and is voiced by comedy legend Rob Schneider, the genius behind such works as The Stapler, The Carrot, and Herpa-derpa-derpa-derp. You have no idea how excited I am about this. That man is one of the greatest comedians living today, up there with Adam Sandler. Same with our villains in the movie, these crocodile-looking things played by Stephen and William Baldwin. I mean, yes. I mean, no. Meanwhile, Max's dad and the Jane Lynch mother we saw earlier go to the lab and see the time machine has been replaced by a dinosaur egg. Cue gag for the trailer.
The kids, they must have gotten my time machine to work.
Excuse me?
They've gone back millions of years in the past.
Excuse me?
The kids try to get away from the Rob Schneider dinosaur. Well, someone clearly wasn't a fan of the animal, or the hot chick, as they end up falling off a cliff and ending up in quickly moving water. Well, we all know this can only mean a huge waterfall and sharp rocks at the bottom is awaiting for them. Well, no, that doesn't actually happen. They panic at the thought of drowning, but then they get on these logs and start surfing, continuing this movie's love of all things radical. But uh-oh, it seems the machine's power source falls out of Ernie's pocket. It doesn't fall into the water, mind you. No, it flies out of his pocket and lands near the jungle, and the bumbling henchmen find it.
Oh, watch out, you didn't make it! Man, you disgusting!
Oh boy, that was bad.
Will you just pull it out already?
We've got work to do.
Yeah, but never again.
Well,
This is really amazing.
Weren't you scared of these creatures less than 20 minutes ago? Seriously, what's the matter with you kids? I know Gen Z can be confusing and all, but this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, are these kids hopped up on lean or Xannies or whatever these kids these days are taking? I guess I just don't understand this generation. Before Ernie can pull out the power source, he realizes that he lost it, but that's perfectly fine. The mother T-Rex needs to show them a montage of her day-to-day life, including scaring other dinosaurs, not to eat them or anything, just because she thinks it's funny, slide on the back of long necks like the Flintstones, knocking coconuts out of trees, and starting a campfire. But Ernie has had enough of this. He tries to make a break for it to find the power source, but the T-Rex lays on top of him. As he puts it, she grounded him. The next day, the dinosaurs take off while the bumbling henchmen steal the time machine, after we get some hilarious slapstick that leads to the power source thingy landing right back where Ernie first found it. And it's here where we get the liar revealed part of the movie, where Ernie admits that he was hiding it from the others the whole time. So now, with the machine gone, Ernie gets the idea to carve a message in the past so that it'll appear to their parents in the future, and they'll know that soda pop makes the machine work. But guess what? Before the parents could get said message, you know what they were busy doing? Making another time machine. Yes, the other time machine took the father 4 years to make, but they can apparently throw another time machine together through the power of montage. Oh, and the dinosaur egg that was sent to the future ends up hatching into this thing. Back with the kids, we see them successfully carving the message into the rock formations they mentioned at the beginning of the movie. Because of course those rock formations would stay there after all those years. But while they're trying to carve it in, Julia gets kidnapped by the henchmen.
Run! Run! And try not to step on anything!
Give me back my baby!
Acting is it's just so good. So Ernie, Max, and the mom T-Rex show up to save Julia. At first it seems the T-Rex doesn't stand a chance against the two crocodiles, but Ernie takes them out by pretending to roar. It works at first, but the henchmen catch him and chase after him. And then they get faked out by a very similar trick that they saw him do with their own two eyes. And then there's one more fart joke for the road.
Let's go find Dino Mom.
At least we landed in something warm and squishy.
The kids finally have a chance to go back to the future, but because they've bonded with the giant lizard, they decide they'll stay and defend its honor. So they fight off the crocs with a rocket-powered skateboard, some more bad slapstick, and a camera flash from the flip phone. Just don't question it, the movie's almost over. Meanwhile, the parents give the baby dinosaur some fast food, because that's a very good idea, obviously, and they get the time-traveling car working by spilling soda on the controls. Not because they found the message that the kids carved in the past. No, they spilled soda on the controls because some man on a bike sped past the mother. As it seems the kids are surrounded, the parents' time machine shows up, just as the mother T-Rex finally takes out the remaining crocodile.
The tar's too hot, Circle.
Wow, the dialogue in this movie is just so it's so good. So the mother dinosaur finally realizes that they are not her children. They give her baby back to her, and everyone hops into the car to drive back to the present. Oh, and they bring the Rob Schneider dinosaur with them, where he can truly grace the silver screen with his comedic perfection. And like that, the movie ends. So that was Dino Time, and that was terrible. Look, I'm not one of these cartoon nerds or anything like that, but the animation, the character designs, the story, the facts and logic, everything about this movie was just terrible. I seriously can't believe that 6 years of work went into this, let alone the fact that this somehow went to theaters, apparently. So December is coming up, which means the Christmas, so hopefully next time we'll have a good Christmas movie to talk about. But until then, may Jesus be with you, and please, can we just not talk about bad dinosaur movies or bad movies with animal characters and stuff like that? Can we just stick to Christian movies on this program? That would be great.